Hello and welcome to the Mind Department podcast. I am your host Milan Dretic and I'm excited to share my passion for mindfulness and personal growth with you. In this episode, I will talk about pendulum and mastering the art of the pendulum, a little comprehensive guide for beginners. But before we dive in, I want to invite you to subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an episode. And by subscribing, you will have access to all of our past and future episodes, and you will be part of our growing community of like-minded individuals who are committed to personal growth and empowerment. So if you are ready to take your life to the next level, hit that subscribe button now. Now, let's get started with today's episode. Pendulums have been used for centuries as tools for divination and intuition. This simple yet powerful tool can be used to answer yes or no questions, find lost objects, and even uncover hidden emotions. If you are a beginner looking to master the art of pendulum, this comprehensive guide is for you. In this podcast, we will cover the basic of pendulum use, how to choose the right pendulum, how to cleanse it and charge, and some tips for mastering the art of use it. So, let's go with understanding the basics of pendulum use. Pendulum is a simple tool consisting of a weight attached to a string or a chain. The weight can be made of different materials, such as crystals, metals, or wood. To use the pendulum, hold the weight at the top of the string or the chain and ask a yes or no question. It's simple. The pendulum will swing back and forth or in a circular motion to answer your question. It is important to note that pendulum is not a magic tool that can predict the future. Instead, it is a tool that can tap into your intuition and provide insight into your subconscious mind. Choosing the right pendulum is essential to your success in mastering the art of pendulum. There are different types of pendulums available on the market, and each with its unique energy and properties. When choosing a pendulum, it is important that you consider the material, the shape, and the weight of the pendulum. Some of the popular materials used in pendulums include crystals, metal, and wood. Each material has its unique energy and property that can affect the accuracy of your pendulum readings. Some of the popular crystals used in pendulums include clear quartz, amethyst, and rose quartz. The shape also of the pendulum is very important. In fact, it can also affect its accuracy. Some of the popular shapes include teardrops, sphere, and cone-shaped pendulums. It's very important before using your pendulum to cleanse and charge it, to remove any negative energy and align it with your energy. There are different methods to cleaning and charging your pendulum. Let's see some. First one is running it under cold water for a few minutes. In fact, cleaning your pendulum by running it under cold water is a simple and effective way to remove any negative energy that may have accumulated on your pendulum. Water has a natural cleaning property, and running your pendulum under cold water for a few minutes can help to wash away any negative energy that may have attached itself to the pendulum. To cleanse your pendulum with water, hold it under running cold water while visualizing the water washing away any negative energy that may be present. You can also set an intention for the water to cleanse the pendulum and bring positive energy into your life. Once you have finished cleansing the pendulum with water, dry it off thoroughly before using it again. Second method is placing it in a bowl of sea salt overnight. This is another effective way to cleanse and charge your pendulum. In fact, sea salt has been used for centuries as a natural cleanser and purifier and is believed to have strong healing properties. To cleanse your pendulum with sea salt is very simple. Place it on the bowl of sea salt overnight. The sea salt will absorb any negative energy that may have accumulated on the pendulum and leaving it cleansed and charged with positive energy. When you take the pendulum out of the sea salt in the morning, make sure to rinse it off with cold water and dry it thoroughly before using it again. And the last method to clean and recharge your pendulum is hold it in your hands and visualizing white light surrounding. It is a technique used to charge your pendulum with positive energy. The color white is associated with purity, clarity, and protection, and visualizing white light surrounding your pendulum can help to purify and protect it from negative energy. To charge your pendulum with white light, hold it in your hands and take a few deep breaths to center yourself. Visualize a bright light white surrounding the pendulum, filling it with positive energy and purifying it of any negative energy that may have accumulated. You can also set an intention for the pendulum to be charged with positive energy and to bring clarity and insight into your life. Once you feel the pendulum has been charged with positive energy, and you can use it for your divination or intuitive purposes. Charging your pendulum is also important to align it with your energy. You can charge your pendulum by holding it in your hands and visualizing white lines surrounding it. You can also charge it by leaving it in the sunlight or moonlight for a few hours. Let's see some tips to mastering the art of pendulum. Some tips could be: always ask clear and concise questions. One of the key aspects of using a pendulum for divination or intuitive purposes is to ask clear and concise questions. The pendulum works by responding to your subconscious mind, and if your questions are unclear or ambiguous, it may not provide you with accurate answers. Therefore, it is important to take the time to formulate your question carefully before using the pendulum. To ask clear and concise questions, start by identifying the information you want to obtain. Then, phrase your question in a way that is specific and unambiguous. Avoid using open-ended questions and instead ask yes or no questions that the pendulum can easily respond to. By asking clear and concise questions, you can obtain more accurate and useful information from your pendulum. Second tips: trust your intuition and don't second-guess yourself. When using your pendulum, it is important to trust your intuition and not second-guess yourself. The pendulum responds to your subconscious mind, which means that the answers it provides may not always make logical sense. Therefore, it is important to trust your instincts and allow yourself to be guided by your intuition. If you find that you are second-guessing yourself or doubting the accuracy of the answers you are receiving, take a moment to pause and center yourself. Remind yourself that the pendulum is a tool that can help you access your intuition and provide insight that may not be immediately apparent. By trusting your intuition and not second-guessing yourself, you can develop a stronger connection with your pendulum and access deeper levels of insight. The next tip is practice regularly to develop your skill. Like any skill, using a pendulum for divination and intuitive purposes requires a regular practice to develop your skills. The more you use your pendulum, the more comfortable you will become with it, and the more accurate your results will be. To practice using your pendulum, start by setting aside regular time each day to work with it. 5 minutes is 5 minutes, will be fine, but do it every day. Choose a quiet and comfortable space where you can focus without distraction. Then use your pendulum to ask simple yes or no questions and practice interpreting the responses you receive. As you become more comfortable with your pendulum, you can start asking more complex questions and exploring different techniques for working with it. Next tip, use your pendulum in a calm and relaxed state. In fact, if you use a pendulum in this state, it's essential for obtaining accurate and useful information. When you are feeling anxious or stressed, it can be more challenging to assess your intuition and connect with your pendulum. To use your pendulum in a calm and relaxed state, start by taking a few deep breaths to center yourself. Focus on your breath and allow yourself to become fully present in the moment. Then hold your pendulum in your hand and ask your question. Allow the pendulum to move freely and avoid trying to control its movements. By using your pendulum in a calm and relaxed state, you can assess deeper levels of insight and obtain more accurate information. And the last tip for today, keep a pendulum journal to track your progress and insights. In fact, keep a pendulum journal is a valuable tool for tracking your progress and insights. By recording your questions, responses, and interpretations, you can receive more information. So, to start a pendulum journal, choose a notebook or digital document where you can record your questions and responses. Make sure to date each entry and record any insight or observations that you have about your result. You can also use your journal to track your progress over time and identify areas where you may need to focus your practice. By keeping a pendulum journal, you can enhance your understanding of your pendulum and deepen your connection with your intuition. So, mastering the art of pendulum takes time and practice, but with the right tools and techniques, anyone can become proficient in using this powerful tool. Remember to choose the right pendulum, cleanse and charge it regularly, and practice regularly to develop your skill. With patience and perseverance, you will soon be able to tap into your intuition and unlock the secret of pendulum art. If you want to try and experience a personal reading, pendulum reading, you can contact me directly, okay? If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a review and share it with your friends and family. And your support means the world for me, and it helps me spread my message and empowerment to more people. Thank you to follow and listen.